Ask me about let's keep the video stuff going. We could talk about that kind of stuff, like SEO essentially.
Okay.
Because I'm getting a lot of that from different people. I think I'm pretty much in the shot there. All right.
Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Robert Smith, and with me is Nate Haskins with Hit Automatics. And today,
Haskins IT these days.
Haskins IT.
I forgot to tell you, and I got to give you a new flyer. Hit Automatics, we're still doing it, but I stopped branding it. It's all Haskins IT in the front end.
Okay.
I was confusing people and myself.
What's up, everybody? My name is Robert Smith, and with me is Nate Haskins with Haskins IT. And today we are going to be discussing SEO for small businesses. And so I just wanted to turn it right over to Nate and get your kind of thoughts on what you think about SEO, AI, where that field is kind of going, and what are your insights and thoughts on the future of small business web-related IT stuff?
Wow. Well, thanks for having me on the show, Rob. Appreciate that.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, it's a rapidly changing field right now. So on one hand, you've got the way businesses get found on the internet is usually through rich keywords. So when this whole thing started, we'll go back to like 2000, the best way to do this was to stuff your website full of all the juicy keywords that are related to your business. So if you're a bakery, you want bread in there, you want cinnamon rolls, you want your local town name, you just stuff it with all the keywords. And stuff was kind of simple back then. But then everybody did that, and that started getting played out, and Google could detect if you were just stuffing it, and now it got more sophisticated. So now your content has to make some actual sense. It needs to be a story that bread is good and that your bakery makes that bread to be anything of value. Fast forward now, it's no problem to make a story about making bread anymore. If you put it in AI, now we can have 1,000 businesses making 1,000 stories about making bread. So Google throws its hands up in the air and says, what do I do with 1,000 stories that are the same about making bread? It starts deranking most of them.
Yep.
And it starts throwing their priority down, and now all that time you spent to make your awesome website and that story just go in the gutter, essentially, as far as Google's concerned. So that gets into what do you do today to make content in an AI-saturated world actually surface to the top? You got to make it relevant.
You got to make it relevant, and you got to make it hyper-local.
Hyper-local. That's a great one. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So it's no longer like bakery in St. Louis. It's bakery near me, or bakery in Frontenac, or whatever it, wherever you may be. That's the kind of SEO that I think Google is searching for.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's the idea of like really rich, like we're moved past the point where you can just BS your way through SEO. Like the machines now know that you've written an article that's just garbage to get keywords. What they're actually looking for is real context and real information. And they can determine that using AI. So they're reading the page, looking for relevancy, and then ranking it. So they don't care if you're using AI per se. What they care is, are you really transmitting real information in that story?
Right. And is it within your wheelhouse or within your authority to speak on? So, for example, if you are a bakery, you don't want to do SEO content on ice cream.
Yeah, that can be a muddy signal. And people used to try that because they were going for like maybe regional or crossover SEO.
Right.
And it can still kind of work, but it's not as clear as getting an original signal from somebody. Because authority is a big problem now with modern era AI too. We don't know where the information is coming from. And Google's trying to, and other search engines, try to determine where that information is sourced from. So when you have a website, that's your single source of authority as far as Google is concerned in a lot of cases. And so when you build out your website with SEO and content, that becomes something that can lean on to find information.
It can also hurt you, though, if you're not really talking or speaking about what your website is truly about, too, right?
Yep.
I noticed like a lot of website providers back in the day, especially in the automotive industry, they would be like, they would say like, good places to eat around XYZ dealership. Well, the dealership isn't a food critic. So why are they speaking on the best restaurants in the area?
That's a good point, yeah. And you would know because you've been, deep in the mix at your work now. You do SEO and doing quite well with SEO over there.
Very well.
Yeah. So the other thing, too, just to mention, we've got a little bit of time here. The format in which information is stored on web pages changed slightly. There's still original SEO, but now there's something that's specific for AI stuff. And so being able to build pages with that technology is very important, because AI, in my humble opinion, is going to be the interface for a lot of stuff moving forward. We're not going to go to web pages as much as we used to, but you still want that information on that web page so AI can find it. And so you want to format in like the right way. And so what I'm excited about, what we're doing, is we've figured out a way to shoot these local videos. You and I are working on this.
Yeah.
To shoot local videos where we can capture a business owner talking exactly about their business in a very rich, very real way, and we can extract the information out of that video to make these rich SEO pages based off that information. So that's very exciting. I think that's bringing a lot of value to small businesses that don't need to spend $5 to $6K on like a solid organic SEO campaign. They can record their local videos, and we can help use that to give them the SEO they need to be found.
Right. And not to put anybody on blast, I know we're running short on time, but like these website providers, they really don't do a very good job of creating hyper-local, very specific SEO content towards your business. They have a ton of clients. So what they do to save time, they'll take all the bakers and they'll create one piece of content, and then they'll change up a couple of words to make it relevant to your website, and that's it. And in Google's eyes, it's more repetitive. It's irrelevant in Google's eyes because it's not unique. It's not different. It's not built towards that specific business.
Yeah.
So you can get penalized, and I've seen it where these website providers will make the same piece of content across all these different websites throughout the country, and guess what? They get like 1 or 2 clicks or whatever it is. So by creating original, like you said, keyword-rich SEO, that is what's going to build your relevance in Google.
Absolutely. And AI will find you with that too. And, you can get some gains as far as internet content goes in that way. So I'm excited for what we're able to offer people now. And I would encourage you, if you want to follow up on this information, please reach out, Haskins IT. And basically, we're able to shoot a video of you and then turn that into a website with rich SEO. And really, it's hands-off for the end client, too, which I love about that. So this has a lot to do with 2026 level modern tooling, essentially. This wouldn't have been possible 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I think another thing we should mention, too, is we offer like packages where, because the whole point of SEO is staying consistent. So we're not just going to do like one piece of content every quarter. It's going to be almost a daily thing. You're going to get a new piece of content almost daily, so that every time it hits Google, it just keeps raking you up, and eventually you're going to be like on the top 10 or top 5 or top 3 SRP or SERP, search engine result page.
It is nice to use organic SEO too. We'll just mention that briefly because we're almost out of time, but this is an organic. You don't pay extra for keyword acquisitions with this strategy. So, I mean, that's organic, I think, is the maintainable solution in the future. I don't think paying for, ad keywords is going to be as effective as it was previously.
I don't think so either, because you're basically building the content around the way your customers search for your business.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
And they land on that video too, which I love, because once they find the page, they hit the video, and you're authentically standing there talking to them. And that converts, because I go to these Chamber of Commerce meetings and stuff, nothing like local business seeing a business owner talk to you face to face to build trust. So after they find your page, they see the video, they can build that relationship, and so I'm excited for that.
I am too.
But we're out of time.
Hit Nate up at Haskins IT, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you then. Thanks. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Got a little salesy, but I think we're all right. All right.